Alright, hey everyone. Okay, so I'm going to go over the patch notes for the patch tomorrow. This patch is going to have exclusive content this weekend that if you don't own a copy of the game or if you don't log in, you won't be able to get it. But I'm going to go over the what's going to be going on in the current patch. But it's worth mentioning that if you don't own a copy of the game by the next patch, and log in to the sanctuary, you won't be able to collect the blueprint for the combat helmet and the Gatling laser. I'm gonna put exclamation points. Now the combat helmet is something that you can get much later in the game, on the insane difficulty on the higher, uh, echelons of the difficulty scale. However, the Gatling laser may not even appear until I add in the next expansion. So that if you're wondering what the Gatling laser is like, I can show you real quick. But here's a Gatling laser in action. It is a energy-based weapon, very high rate of fire energy weapon. Has a longer spin up than most of the other guns with a spin up. Now this gun does lightning damage and fires very fast and very, very, very high damage. So if you want to see here, it pretty much eats the fucking ever-loving hell out of anything that has any kind of armor, it being a lightning-based weapon and everything like that. So you'll notice that I cleared out this space up here. Anytime I do exclusive loot rewards for owning a copy of the game and stuff like that, which will be limited time, like only on weekends or something, where if you log in you can actually jump on and be able to grab the cool free loot chest that'll have something that's unique once a month. And this month will be the Gatling laser. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to go over the patch notes real quick. So, Ogrim Gore Battle is now the final level of Iron Man. Now, I'm going to show the Ogrim Gore Battle in a moment. But the trial battle arena is a new map. Fast and loose, you can do these trial battles for a chance at some new loot, as well as old loot. These battles are also meant to get you introduced with some of the tougher and much more rare enemies in the game, mainly the giant and the demon lord. Which, ultimately speaking, this entire trial thing is meant to be kind of like a something that you could do that you can kind of grind it, and it's just basically a survival battle arena, and you just come in. And one of the interesting things that's a little bit different about this area is that when you're here, unlike all the other places in the game, this level actually provides you with ammo regen. I decided to give that buff because it makes a little bit more sense, and it's a 20 stage fight that it goes a lot faster than it seems at the earlier levels, like when you do the earlier versions of the fight. But if you do anything from insane to revulsion, you'll actually start to feel the burn. It'll be like, this is actually kind of like almost a 7-minute to 10-minute long fucking battle of just continuously spawning waves of enemies. It's really cool though. And the loot that you can obtain from doing this is a type of transmutation. You'll be able to see what the actual rewards are when you log into the game and show it. But this is actual functionality right here where you can actually show it in action. Let me go into the hub. Oh, I'm gonna have to go into the test level because I don't have any. Oh wait, actually, I should be fine. So let's say that you're downtrodden, you haven't really had a chance to really get into anything. Well, say you have a few raw animus just kicking around, and you probably do because, I mean, let's face it, there's really not much use for these items, but not anymore. You haven't really been using your raw animus. You probably have around 30 to 50 of them if you've been playing the game at all for a little while. So what these transmutation recipes do is they allow you to convert raw animus into whatever you need. So I can convert one raw animus, and I need a little bit of credits to do that. So one of the first ones that I give you is the ability to actually transmute one raw animus into 10,000 credits. Whoa! Whoa! And whoa! Now keep in mind, raw animus doesn't drop when you die. These are loot thingies that are kind of the equivalent to the souls that you can carry around in Dark Souls that, like, you know, you can use it as soldier's soul or whatever. You collect them all the time. You use it and it gives you like 500 souls or 1,000 souls. This is kind of this game's answer to that kind of gameplay mechanic. So now that that's in the game, though, it should greatly reduce the amount of grind that's required, and also should help you a lot. The thing is, though, in order to get these gems, and in order to get these, well, they are gems, in order to get certain ones of these, you have to do the trial battles. And this one is the hardest one to get, the jump mod parts, because it's a rare drop. But the gem ones, so I can use this and convert one raw animus into 5 berserker gems, one raw animus into 5 endless gems, right? So that's like just enough gems for me to convert like a piece of armor or something like that. Like if I have like if I want to enhance something, there you go, right? But these are random drops from the loot that comes out of the power node battle thingy. And the really important ones, though, are provided right away. Credits and metal scraps. So now, if you're down, you know, you've been getting your ass kicked, you're all out of loot, and you need some metal scraps, well, now you have an actual way to do it. Now you actually have a way to get yourself some metal scraps. Well, you know, if you have some raw animus, you can go ahead and do it. And if you need to get raw animus, you can just run the trial battle. So let me show these trial battles real quick. I'm not going to record myself actually playing the trial battle. It's up to you guys to you know, to check it out yourselves, and that's not in the game yet. So here is the ultimate champion, the Mirror's Gaze, by the way, and Trial of the Soldier. So they basically go, it's like Trial of the Traveler is the first one. It's level 2. And you'll see here, it'll be transmute credits and transmute metal scraps. And that'll be the completion reward for doing this one first. Right? On this character, I currently have it done, so you only get 1 raw animus and 100 fabrication data, which is, you know, it doesn't seem like very much, but that's 10,000 fucking credits. If you know, and running Trial of the Traveler over and over and over again could be just a pretty quick way at this point in time to actually accumulate a pretty decent amount of resources. And it's 1 level. In fact, actually, I should show it in action a little bit just so that you can see that it's like you just jump in, you do this 1 fight, and then you go to the reward area, pick up your rewards, and you're out. So Trial of the Traveler, Trial of the Soldier, Trial of the Veteran on insane difficulty, and Ultimate Champion. Now, also keep in mind, these are available and they're mixed in with the first wave of difficulties content. In other words, you have a chance to do Revulsion difficulty content at level 8. Usually Revulsion difficulty is like a level 14 or a level 15, you know, Iron Man thing, right? Well, that's relevant because the amount of loot that you get and the quality of the loot that you get is based on the difficulty. So you have a level 8 thing where, you know, you have a really good chance of actually getting like purples and legendaries, which can just drop like organically. If you can handle this mission and all of its difficulty, you can probably walk away with a fucking legendary. Just repair the damn thing and get it for cheap. So let me just show Trial of the Traveler real quick, and then I'll go over the other patch notes, and then at the very end of this video, I'd like to show off a buddy of mine finally completing a very, very difficult fight, and I'll yammer a bit while it's going, while he's doing that. But I thought this was a pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty interesting. Sometimes it just randomly takes longer than it's supposed to. I don't know why. So, cool. It's got my mouse, so I can't pull up anything else on my notes or anything. The editor will just randomly do this, especially if I've had the editor open for like multiple hours, which is like a normal thing for me. Whoa! Just takes long sometimes. And that's it, right there. I'm in, I have ammo regen, and I can begin the fight. Run in, grab my armor. There's lots of armor, there's lots of, everything kind of just floating around all over the map. And there's the power node. Complete this one fight, and you exit, collect your loot, and you're done. And I'll let you guys see what the fight's actually like. The first two are meant to be fairly straightforward, very easy. You know, I mean, they're probably going to be somewhat challenging if you're under geared, but if you have decent gear, you can probably do the first two almost effortlessly. And then after that, you can start expecting a little bit of challenge on the third one. Highly recommend having double or triple jump if you're going to be doing this, so that you can get out of tight spots, because being able to get up onto here, or just being able to like do this, if you have triple jump, you can basically fly across, right? Those movement plus those jump mods are going to really keep your ass alive. So anyway, so we got the limited time, 13 new transmute blueprints from the trial battle arena, and the by the way, the blueprints transmutation idea was actually from Get Slothy on Steemit. It was his idea, and I was like, whoa, you know, I could work with that. I can actually do that. So I just decided to go ahead and just like add this whole little aspect to the game. Limited lives no longer affect hard difficulty. Limited lives are too hardcore even for hard mode. But don't worry, Revulsion and Insane will be just as fucking ridiculously brutal as always. 1/4 the starting levels now has received an art pass. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna show that off. Now, that one of the main things that I'm doing right now is I'm going through each of the maps and making sure that I touch them up, update their art, make sure that they're looking like, you know, good maps with good quality stuff going on. So I'll be able to just sort of fly around in this. So this map is now, this is another map that actually has had a full art pass done to it, so that you can actually run around and be killed by rocketeers. You know, in style. One shot by a rocketeer that you didn't know it was there can now kill you in a pretty environment rather than a block mesh. I also reworked the entrance to this map, because it used to just start you here, and then you'd open up this door and you'd kill a couple of these guys, and I felt that it was too confining and felt a little bit too monotonous. So what I've done is I pushed the player spawn back to this area. I have you enter into this area with lighter combat, unless you're on a Revulsion difficulty, of course, because then you got a rocketeer hanging out over there. And you know, you just kill some enemies that are coming up, and now you have a couple of choices, and you can enter the map from a much more interesting position. So I hope you enjoy the art and everything like that. I want all the maps to be at least at this level. By the end of the month or by the middle of the month, I'm really pushing to make sure that I get this all in place. So that's in place now. Auto pistol base damage and accuracy slightly increased slightly. Well, actually, I don't know if it's slightly anymore. I might actually have to say, guys, if you haven't tried the auto pistol in a little while, you might want to try the auto pistol again. Magnum base damage is reduced slightly. It's too often I'll see people kind of using the Magnum as sort of like a sniper weapon. And it kind of half is, but it's not really meant to be, you know, the be-all end-all of all sniping, and I see it used quite often. It's really meant to be sort of a medium range to long range kind of way to like poke the shit out of something and be able to like kill things pretty quickly with one shot kind of weapon. It's really not meant to be like a sniper rifle. I would really, really rather you have a sniper rifle if you're going to be doing that kind of gameplay where you're just standing, peeking, and, you know, headshotting something over and over again. Melee attack now has a wider range of attack, so I could show that off, actually. So now your melee attack actually kind of slides across stuff. Ah. So one of the things that was happening with the melee attack is that it would just be like, you have to be like, your crosshair has to be directly on something, and the graphic doesn't actually match what happens. But now when you melee attack, you may even hit something more than once with the same attack, sort of Street Fighter-ish. Yeah. Remove all value, sell value off the tooltips. I'm gonna rework the tooltips completely anyway, so I figured, fuck it, I'll just clean it up so that you don't think that you can sell your like crafting materials and stuff like that. Prevent items from spawning above the max item level. Yeah, that's all done now. I know that Artemis on Discord mentioned, you know, he showed me that he has like an item level 19, level 10 fucking weapon. It's like beyond legendary. It's like double legendary. It won't. Next time he plays the game, it'll just spawn as the correct legendary status rather than greater than legendary. Crafting menu requirements now properly highlight required materials. This is a pretty nice touch as well. I could show that off real quick, and so this was just something that needed to happen. You notice that it like the stuff that actually is necessary and needed is now brighter, and the stuff that's not relevant is now grayed out. Small change. I feel though that it matters a lot because it makes it a hell of a lot easier to look at, because before it was just like green numbers and all kinds of stuff going on. Now you can actually see what's relevant and what isn't. Crafting menu requirements now properly. AI sniper state cancels if health goes below 75%. Okay, so that's sort of a technical thing, but basically when an enemy is in its sniper state, I've told the enemy to stand still and only attack the player if he sees the player. So he just constantly kind of scans the area to see if there's a player in sight, and if there is one, then he'll begin attacking the player. But he stands in place when this happens. He doesn't run around at all. If you get, like, one of the things I've noticed, especially when it came to like the Magnum being used kind of in the way that I kind of dislike, where it's just like you just stand there, fire the Magnum, and then the enemy eventually dies. Well, with this, at least the enemy decides, like some of the enemies, after you hit him, he takes a little bit of damage. He decides to move around. Like he tries to run towards you, or you know, he realizes that he can't just stand there forever. Howitzer accuracy buffed by a lot. It's now a sniper style weapon. So the howitzer is much more accurate now. Let me put that over with the other weapons. Firebomb launcher can no longer kill your little buddy Roombas that are hanging out in your base. By the way, if you didn't know, if you're if you're in the sanctuary, you'll see a little Roomba buddy, right? But if you start the game up on Revulsion difficulty, like if you start a mission on like one of the harder difficulties in the game, there'll be a whole bunch of Roombas all over the place. They got to keep the place clean. It's very important. Um, it's always been that way, but it's kind of funny. It's just one of those weird little things. AI. Oh, the Warpath music has been changed so that it's not always playing the song unless there's like serious combat. Now that's sort of a thing that I just real quickly I can just kind of show exactly what I mean. So like this is a really long thing, and probably the next patch, what I'm going to do, like, because I'm going through and doing the art pass and everything, which also means I'm probably going to do a gameplay pass as well. But this was too annoying that this was so annoying that I had to fix it sooner um, than later. But the music wouldn't stop. Like you'd kill everything in this area, and I'll often see people kind of like walk over here, they'll grab some armor, and the music's like, you know, it's like, and he's like, oh, there's armor over there, and he just runs over here. It definitely doesn't fit the mood. So basically, what the music does now is, while the enemies are alive, there's combat music, and once you're done killing them, it stops playing it. It may even go silent for a little while, and like even while there's a little bit of combat going on, and then there's like another chance for the music to start blaring, and you kill everything again, and then the music shuts off basically. I am also very strongly considering adding a little doorway in here, on this direction over here, on this side, where you can go in and get a fast travel point. So as long as you don't run back this way, I mean it's not going to be the best way to like enter this area because you're going to have like multiple minigunner guys and stuff. It's not going to be the best. Maybe I should consider. Maybe I'll change something, but it's not outlandish. I think at this point for me to actually maybe consider, because one of the things I've noticed is that this fight is so hard. I see people redoing it over and over again, and I'm actually going to get into that a little bit because I see this. I have gameplay footage of a buddy of mine doing this very level, and I've literally watched him die on this part 30 times. Like, literally, he died 30 times trying to beat this level. And he would die all the way at the very end. The hardest part of the entire thing. Because the fight at the very end of this thing gets very intense. He died 30 fucking times. Now, one of the things that's really interesting about this, though, is how it all plays out. Like he was doing a live stream, so I'm actually watching him. I love live streaming as a game developer because I can actually watch people playing the game. Like normally it would be like a pain in the ass process where like if you want to watch somebody playing, you got to sit there behind him with a fucking notepad and pen, paper and take notes while he's playing the game and stuff like that. Yeah, I can. I have now. I have full fucking feature length fucking videos of the person playing the game, all documented. Every one of their mistakes, every time they felt a little bit lost, every time they, did something a little bit wrong. I can now look at this, and I just think that that's a really cool thing. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, and I probably should get this video done a little bit sooner. But
You before. Huh.
let's see. Hold on a second. He's playing in the background. He's playing a really cool DJ. Crimson, what's her name? What's her name, zombie? Crimson something? Crimson Clad, and she's on Steemit. And Clay was listening to her while Full Force Metal Radio. So while he's streaming the game, he has Full Force Metal Crimson Clad from Full Force Radio playing in the background. I'll leave it up a little bit, but so if you hear somebody talking in the background, that hopefully it's not too distracting. But one of the things that's really weird about this, like Normally, I would not allow a player to die 30 fucking times without like deciding, okay, guys, it's time to make it easier. You know what I mean? Like normally, as a game design rule, you ultimately want to baby the player, and I know that that's usually the direction to go, but that's not how things are with this game. And this game is actually designed in a way where you're not I'm not trying to baby the player, right? So if you don't change to the game, if you don't change how you play, and if you don't update or learn more about the game, you may never actually complete the content, which is, suffice it to say, is well, I mean, not a lot of games are done that way. Not a lot. Not especially like bigger, more popular ones. I can get away with it as doing it like a fringe game like this but people ultimately will complain that the game is like too hard. Well, here's a video. Here's the very last part of that gameplay, where he was kind of getting ready to take on this final battle, and there's a lot to learn about the way the tougher enemies in the game actually function, right? So the last three enemies are two giants and a demon lord, right? So the Demon Lord has a whole series of mechanics that are unique to the Demon Lord, and the Giants have a whole series of mechanics that are unique to the Giant. And I had to basically explain, um, like one of the things about Revulsion though is that it has a lot of stuff going on that's under the hood. You may not know about it. You have to kind of figure it out, or you have to have somebody basically explain it. But like elemental weaknesses for the enemies, demons are weak versus fire. I mean, demons are weak versus ice and poison, while undead or the zombies are weak versus fire and lightning. And lightning is better for dealing with armor. Okay, so he manages to get to the first part of the fight pretty effortlessly, and now here's the giant. Now, you have to actually use the railgun to take out the shield and then the helmet off of the giant. Alright, so once you do that, the giant's health is now cut in half, and he has no armor. So that you can finish him off with a much, like an assault rifle or a minigun, or something, something that does a lot more damage. Well, you only have 40 seconds to do both of these giants before the Demon Lord spawns, right? And this is about the time where he would die because he wouldn't get one of the giants down fast enough. And the Demon Lord is a mini boss basically, and I guess the giants are technically mini bosses as well. But these really are meant to be regular enemies at later stages of the game, by the way. So yeah, there's that. So at this point right here, you can kind of see him kind of panic a little bit because this is the first time he's gotten both of the giants down, and now it's just a 1v1 versus the Demon Lord. And the Demon Lord sitting there spawning ads and blowing things up with grenades. Like, he nearly just died right there. Like, if he was any closer to those grenades, that would have been the end of it. So at this point in time, I'm like, holy shit, is he actually going to beat it? I mean, he's been doing this for like, he's been playing this on and off for like multiple days now, and he hasn't actually beat the Demon Lord. He hasn't been able to do anything. Right there represents the first time he's actually even done damage to the Demon Lord. So I was like, holy shit, the Demon Lord's health is starting to go down a little bit. Demon Lord spawns totems. The totems are highly resistant to most types of damage, except for lightning does massive damage. So you could pop the totem, like the bubble that he's got around him, with any kind of lightning damage will just like destroy it right away. Although the Demon Lord himself is fairly resistant to lightning and fire because he's a demon. So you actually have to pop the shield and then maybe switch to like an ice or a poison weapon to like maximize your damage versus the Demon Lord. But at this point in time, it looks a little bit like Clay is actually kind of just in a panic mode. He's like he can't take any chances because the Demon Lord teleports, and when he teleports, he spawns ads. And you'll also notice too that there's these circle thingies, these time bomb thingies that spawn at your feet when you're fighting a Demon Lord. He spawns these time bombs, and if they explode on you, they apply a status effect called Graviclasm. Graviclasm slows your movement speed, which is pretty much a death sentence. Now he's using grenades. Grenades are pretty good against the totem, I guess in some respects, but because they can pierce, the explosion will actually pierce through the shield, but both the totem and the demon lord are highly resistant to fire damage. So right now, we're actually looking at the first moments where he's got him about halfway down. Like, you can kind of tell that, you can just tell by watching the video, you can kind of tell, like, his heart's fucking racing right now. Like, he's like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. He can't fuck around with this enemy at all, man. So he teleports, he spawns more ads, which is these guys here. Now, if you get a Graviclasm on you, that's pretty much a death sentence. Right, so Graviclasm also these nightmare demons, these like transparent guys that fire like shmup amounts of enemy. Wait, here it is right here. You might actually kill him. No, not yet. Those guys, when they die, they explode, and that could apply Graviclasm as well. And the only way to get rid of Graviclasm is wait 8 seconds, or which is probably going to be by the time you die. Or you cleanse it off with a biotic cleanse or something along those lines. If you have biotic cleanse, you can get rid of any Graviclasms that you have on you, which could save your life. So biotic cleanse is pretty valuable when you're dealing with demons like this. All right, so it's getting down to the wire, and if Clay fucks up at all, he's gonna die, right? And he at this point, I was just yelling at the screen. I'm like, "Oh my god, use your fucking railgun, dude! It pierces the shield." But like, oh my god, he's using ballistic weapon against the totem. All right, so the demon lord just spawned behind him, spawned another ad. So like, yeah, you got to be constantly vigilant to wherever the demon lord actually teleports. My god, man. He's behind you. He's behind you. I was watching this and I'm like, oh shit, is he gonna do it? Because he's gonna fucking do it, man. He's like so fucking close. He's so fucking close. And oh, he got him. And that damn bastard tried to shoot some grenades at his face at the very last second. Yeah. And that's not even the final boss. That's just a regular enemy. And it's so low, you couldn't hear it, but Clay was like, finally. Look at that, 55 fucking deaths. So, yeah, like, damn, man. Ah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into it once I do the art pass in this map to adding another fast travel so that people who die 30 times don't have to continually redo this area over and over again. And at least the music's not like a cheese grater anymore, so that's a plus for now. With that said, the Ogrim Gore battle is back in the game. Now, I don't think I've ever actually really showed the Ogrim Gore battle, but I think the video is a little bit on the long side, so I should probably go ahead and just end this now. But you know what? I'll do another video. I'll show Ogrim Gore off by itself. So, hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Remember, exclusive loot this weekend. And I'm going to try and advertise more directly and be like, buy the game now. Get a Gatling laser that you probably won't see again for a year, 6 months. I don't know, something quite a bit, because I'm not going to be adding in the areas that actually possess that item as a regular pickup. So this is your own, this weekend is literally your only chance to get that blueprint. With that said, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you enjoyed. Definitely stay tuned for more. I'll do another update tomorrow talking about that, and I'm also gonna do another video showing off the Ogrim Gore battle